How amazing it would be to have very, very delicious food and still be healthy for you. Wouldn't that be amazing if you had type 2 diabetes or any of the plethora of chronic diseases? So here's the thing, my dad, he's in his mid-80s. He's got remnants of diabetes. He can't control his sweet tooth a bit. He's got a few food addictions. He's still slim. However, the food he eats is kind of boring and bland. Being from Bangladesh originally, the kind of food we're used to is spicy and rich in sauces, rich in oils, and many things that are not good for you. So today, I'm going to experiment with a quinoa recipe, which hopefully is going to taste amazing. Now, my dad will not get to taste it now. My mum's going to watch this video and she's going to make it for him. They live in another town altogether. I'm going to taste it on his behalf. Lucky me, right? My name is Haroon Rabbani. I am the host of the Haroon Rabbani podcast. And one of the things that I'm finding that people are asking me about all the time privately as well as by way of views is people love recipes. I would like to create a world where people can make a difference to the planet as well as other people by first of all looking after their own mind, body, spirit health. Let's look after the physical side. So before we start, I want to share with you a couple of things. Many of the foods that you'll see I often grow. So today I've just picked up a courgette, also known as a zucchini. Yesterday I picked up some kale. Doesn't look so amazing. It is amazing. A couple of bits of kale. And a lot of people think, oh my God, kale, this is horrible. It's not if you cook it right. Here are my homegrown chilies, which I would either use fresh or pickle them for use later on in the year. The glycemic index of rice is very important. To give you context, the glycemic index of table sugar is 65. Brown rice is 50, white rice 73, basmati 58, wild rice 57, sticky rice 90, and quinoa just 53. As this is a quinoa recipe, we're going to go with a cup of quinoa. The three most base spices in a Bangladeshi dish include coriander, turmeric, and cumin. Let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. So the spices we're using here, including mustard seeds, cumin seeds, and nigella seeds, are incredible for healing powers. I'm using one of our homegrown onions, spring onions, celery, a little bit of French beans, carrot, one mushroom, red pepper, olives, and there's my jar of chilies. Before you cook quinoa, you've got to soak it in cold water for at least 1 minute just to get rid of some of the toxins. After rinsing and draining the quinoa, then add that back into a pot with 1 cup of water. Let it boil and simmer for 15 minutes. Add a little cooking oil. I use olive oil. Please note there's very little oil in the pan. And then add in your 2 cloves of garlic, chopped onions, and a teaspoon of salt. While you're watching this video, please note you want to be eating foods which are rich in antioxidants. The chopped celery gives an incredible flavor, and then I add in the 3 spices. It doesn't really matter what order you put them in, to be honest with you. If you want to get the most out of the turmeric and its medicinal effect, then add black pepper, which will make the turmeric a lot more bioactive. Add some water to saute the dish. I've added a few drops of soy sauce because I love the taste. Give it 2-3 minutes for the spice to infuse. Then add the carrots because it takes the longest to cook. I'd forgotten about the seeds, so I put in the mustard, cumin, and nigella seeds at this point. Nigella seeds, by the way, are the very same seeds that make black seed oil out of. Start adding the remaining vegetables because they take less time to cook, and always adding a little bit of water so you don't burn the food. You know those chilies that I showed you earlier? These are the ones from last year. If you don't like your food too hot, then add 0 chilies. If you want it slightly spicy, then add according to your taste. Courgettes cook very quickly, so I add them into the pan at this point, followed by the mushrooms and the red peppers. Cover up and let it cook for 5 minutes. And by now, by the way, your quinoa should be ready. Add the kale in, as we don't want to destroy the incredible vitamins and minerals in there. For a little sweetness, I've added a small amount of dried fruits, including cranberries and raisins. Stir them up and let them cook well together for another 2 to 3 minutes. And then add in the quinoa. Don't forget to add the chopped spring onions. On top of that, I'm also putting in some chopped cherry tomatoes. A Bangladeshi dish is not a Bangladeshi dish without coriander added right at the end. Total cooking time is about 10 minutes. Preparation time is dependent on how quickly you can wash and chop. Oh, come on, this is really worth it, right? Time for the taste test. Incredibly tasty, needs a bit of salt. Why don't you give it a try and let me know how you get on? And throw in any vegetables you prefer. Sorry, I shouldn't be eating and talking at the same time. See you next time.